Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make your coil picture frames. You're going to need a chunk of clay. You're going to need that design that I had you draw on a piece of paper, making sure that all parts of the frame are about an inch wide the whole way around and equal. Don't make them smaller than an inch, they'll get too fragile when it's dry. You will notice that I rolled out a bunch of coils here, so I would get a whole bunch of them ready to go. I'll do one more last one here with what's left over my clay. So I'll start it in my hands, start a coil like this, and then gently rolling it on my canvas, going back and forth to the left side of the coil to the right side of the coil, using my whole hand, not just going like this, but going from one end of my hand to the other. I'm not putting a lot of muscle into it, so my canvas isn't moving all around. So you might have struggled with that a little bit by pushing too hard. And as I said earlier in the directions, when you roll your coil, you want to make sure it's about the thickness of your pinky finger, okay? Don't make it too fat, but if you make it too small, it's going to be hard to smooth the back of your frame together, okay? So once I have a bunch of coils made, I'm ready to start building my frame. Okay, so I have my frame here. I'm going to build it right on top of this paper. And if you looked on the slideshow earlier, there's all kinds of different coil designs that you can make. You don't have to just set them on here flat. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think in the four corners, I'm going to take a coil and I'm going to roll it into a spiral. And I want to make sure it's the size just to fit the corner. That looks pretty good there. Okay, so I'm going to need another coil about the same length. Again, you can break them and make them shorter if they're too long, because I want my spirals in all four corners to match. Here's another one. And I'm saving these leftover pieces because I might use them later. Another spiral. Set that on my paper, and then I'll do one more. And I'm pretty sure this one's going to be too big. So I'll roll it to the size that I want it. Okay, so there I have four spirals in the corners. Then I can decide how I want to fill up the rest of my frame here. I'm going to use this piece here. Maybe I'm just going to put that right there. And I'll do the same thing. That's just about the right size. And I need two more for the other side. Again, the nice part about clay, you can just smash it to get it the size that you want. Okay. All right, so I still got some more filling to do. Maybe I'll fill the inside of that too. I'm going to roll this just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put a coil in here. And I'm going to do that on the other three sides. Keep making sure that they're nice and round. And there. Oops, still too long. Again, the nice part about clay, you just get it the size that you need. I always kind of go back and make sure they're nice and round before I put them in my frame. Okay, so now all I have to do is fill in these little gaps here. So what I'm going to do is just roll some tiny spheres of clay. Try to get them all the same size. I'm just going to roll a whole bunch of them. That one's a little too small. Do a whole bunch. Okay, I'm going to need several of these to go the whole way around, so I want to try to get the same amount of clay for each ball of clay. Do a whole bunch of these. Okay. So what I'm going to do with these spheres of clay, I'm going to fit them right inside there. So it seems to take, that was a little bit too big. I'm going to make it a little smaller. 4 chunks of clay there. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So I need 8 more. These ones there are too small. Make that into 1. 3. Too small. Again, I'm going to make sure these are the right size. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So once I get my spheres of clay all rolled, I'm going to push these in here so my frame looks the same on all 4 sides. Now, once I have all those in there, okay, this is going to end up being the back of my frame. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your finger, or you may have a plastic ceramic tool in your supplies. I'm going to smear these all together. I don't want to destroy the shape, but what I want to do is smear this all together. So it's all smooth. It almost looks like a slab on the back. So I don't want to see any cracks or anything, but I don't want to smash it. I want to blend left and right. Sometimes if you need to take a little piece of clay and smear it in there, that's fine too. So if your clay is too dry, you're not able to do this, you might want to get some softer clay. So I want to do this the whole way. Again, this is the back of the frame. I want to show you in a minute what the front's going to look like. Okay, so I want this smooth and pretty flat, but I don't want to smash it. I want to make sure I still keep this nice square, okay? But I want to make sure I blend it together so the coils do not fall apart once they dry. So once that is all blended in and smoothed, again, I shouldn't see any cracks whatsoever. So, dead blended. So now you're ready to flip it over onto your canvas or onto your board to see what it looks like on the front. So I literally pick it up, flip it over, and voila, there is my frame. Okay? Now the last thing you might want to do, if you see little tiny cracks in there, it's not the end of the world. A little bit of water. Dip your finger in a little bit of water and just smooth it. Sometimes you can just smooth it with your finger. Okay? If I wanted to blend the edges or make sure it gets this nice square, I can do that now. So the little cracks, even a little bit of a paintbrush will go in there to fill in all the little cracks that might show up. So then you just let it dry, and when you get it back to the art room, we'll fire it. Okay? Can't wait to see them. Good luck.